So if you haven't realized it already, dentistry can be pretty backbreaking work. And with our standard of care being determined based off of a couple of millimeters, every detail matters, which is why most dentists these days use loupes. Hey, I'm Dr. Jossen, I'm a general dentist, and I'm super excited today because Lumadent actually sent me a pair of their new ErgoPrism loupes to try out. So let me give you the scoop. So here they are, my new ErgoPrisms. And so first thing I want you to note is the angulation of the loupes themselves. These are designed to help you to keep your neck straight up. I actually brought my current loupes for comparison, but these are actually angled pretty far down also, which is why I bought them in the first place. But they're not deflection loupes like the Lumadent ones are. I actually have to move my eyes down in order to see the picture. So one big note that I have noticed already with the Lumadents is that if I'm trying to speak to a patient, with my current loupes, I can actually just speak to them just like how I'm speaking to you right now. But with the Lumadents, they're actually in the eyesight, which means that I have to actually either take off my loupes or look from above, and I'll show you. So here are the Lumadent ones in comparison. And as you can see, if I'm speaking to you straight on, you can't see my eyes and I actually can't see you, I can see my loupes. But if I want to speak to somebody, I have to either take them off or look through the sides. I'll also add that I did have a little bit of a learning curve with these new loupes, but the cool thing is that they are totally adjustable. The earpieces, through the nose piece, we also have these adjustable bands to adjust the tightness on your head, and I was able to find a comfortable position to work with them. The working distance focus can also be adjusted by simply turning the barrel of the loupes themselves. And just for comparison again, I want you to note the neck tilt whenever I'm actually looking through my loupes. So in this position here, I can actually see my thumbs clearly, completely clearly. And so this is where my working distance would be. And now here are my current loupes. So at this point right here, I can actually see my thumbs. And so I think my ergonomics are pretty good in general anyway. Major thing I want you to notice is how my eyesight, instead of looking forward, I'm looking down at the loupes. But yeah, that would be it. And so I was looking back at those videos and I would say that there's a very slight variation in that angle, but definitely is big enough where I can notice that when I'm forced to look down at my loupes, I can feel almost like a pull down of my neck a little bit on the muscles in the back here. Whereas when I'm using the Lumadent Ergo loupes, I'm looking straight forward and it almost forces you to keep your head up because you literally can't tilt, otherwise you won't see the image. So as for the light, I already used a Lumadent light that I had gotten when I was a dental student because it was actually pretty affordable compared to all the other lights. But Lumadent also sent me their new Wavelux light that I'm gonna show you right now. So here is their new Wavelux Light, which basically turns on with a wave of your hand. And that basically removes the possibilities of cross-contamination while you're working on patients, which is pretty cool. I will say you do have to keep an extra battery on hand because the battery does seem to die a little bit quicker than the larger version of it. But regardless, it's pretty cool to not have to touch it while you're working. So my take on my new Lumadent ErgoPrisms, I actually really like them. And I wasn't really sure that that was going to be the case because I had a pretty big learning curve trying to get used to them. But once I did, I definitely felt it in my neck. And when I was looking back at those images, there's not really like a significant difference in that neck tilt, but I don't know if it's something about the way that the eyes look down and that feels like it creates some tension in your muscles, but there's definitely a difference there. The other explanation that I have for it is that with the ErgoPrisms, you're basically forced to keep your neck straight up, otherwise you won't see the image. Whereas with the other loupes, you can cheat a little bit and still be able to see that image. Hope you enjoyed the information in this video, and thank you again to Lumadent for sending me these loupes for me to review. I definitely still enjoy my current loupes, but I can't deny how good the ErgoPrisms make my neck feel. So for now, I'm going to be sticking to the ErgoPrisms and continuing to try them in practice. And if you are noticing any signs of neck stiffness or neck discomfort, definitely try the ErgoPrisms, and I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised.